All right, so I'm going to create another class here in the main area. And I'm going to say here Java class. I'm going to call this area my conversion area. And I'm going to call this state conversion. Okay. And just to show you, I'm going to grab that. Let me go back to that test here. I'm going to grab this out of here. I'm just going to grab this guide here. And I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put boo boo here. And let me see what the problem is. What's the problem? Okay. Now, watch what I can do here. The same thing like I did here, I can say here, state, state conversion, and I have access to boo boo. If I were to run it, you see the same thing. Of course, I don't want to use this, simple logic. I actually want to convert this to a record. This record here, I want to convert that to state. Okay, that's my goal. I want to convert that to state. And I'm going to say here, new state. Oop, if I can spell state correctly. And let me import this. And let me see what this is complaining about. Oh, this is telling me it has a constructor that takes in a parameter. So I'm going to say here 1. I'm going to say here just the word name for now, comma. I'm just going to put in a fake population number here. Save it. Okay. And I'm going to call this, I don't know what to think. Conversion. I'll call it conversion for now. I just can't think of a better name. Okay. So I apologize for that. Let's go to test utility here. And of course, let's change this name accordingly. Colon, and conversion. This is complaining now because now the return type for this is a state, and this is saying it's an integer. So let's make this also state. I need to import that class. Okay, I'm going to run this now just to show you what's going to happen. And now notice you get a list of states. Now, of course, I wanted to show the data that's coming from CSV here. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. All right, so let's make it do that. That rule would be in here, and we're going to do this. This string right here represents the row of data that's in here. That's what this represents. Let's convert that accordingly. I'm going to say here string row, and I'm going to say, oh, I shouldn't say, let me say here columns. It's actually columns. This is going to be an individual row that I want to split up into pieces. And since it's separated by comma, I'm going to use a comma here as the delimiter. This will put in those values into the array. So the first position, integer, which is the index, I'm going to say here integer parse int, and we're going to say here columns, and we're going to say here 0. That'll get me the first position. The second position was a name, so I'll just say string here name, and I'm going to say here columns, and that is columns 1. And the last one, of course, is the population. I'm going to steal this logic here. This will be population, and this will be position number 2. So here, I'm going to actually change this to index. Let's change this to the variable name, and let's change this, of course, to the variable population. If I've done this correctly, I should be able to run my test again, the last test. And sweet. Look, I got the index. This is the data from the file that we converted to a record. Sweet. All right. Hope all is well. And I'll continue this example in the next video.